What I have here is a Harmony Talking Machine Company phonograph. Back in 1907, this company here, the Great Northern Manufacturing Company, which was already manufacturing products, decided to get into the business of selling records and manufacturing them. They were a distributor of the standard talking machine phonograph, so they were already sort of related to that kind of business. So what they did was they introduced a line of machines called the Harmony machines, and they introduced their records, which they were going to make, the Harmony disc record, which they were not into recording records. What they would do was lease stamping plates from other companies and then manufacture records and sell them under their own name. And it was sort of like a deal where if you buy a certain number of records, then you would get the machine for free. And what I'm talking about are some of the early outside horn machines the company made. These later ones, there's a little bit of a different story too, and I'll get to that in a second. But so these machines were originally sold as a premium, and one thing they got involved in, at that time in Chicago, there was a number of companies doing the same sort of thing. They were really a company wanting to sell records, but what they were doing was having someone else manufacture machines for them. And then what they would have is their records would have a different spindle size. You can see that hole looks a little bit larger than your standard spindle size. There's one here, a standard disc record, and its spindle size is a little bit bigger. And then we got United record, a little bit bigger. And then we've got the Aretino, which is even larger. So why were they using all these different spindle sizes? Well, really, the idea was if you sold a machine that had a specific spindle size, then the person buying it would probably have to only buy your records because they were the ones that worked best. So there was kind of this thing we call the spindle wars, where different companies in Chicago were getting machines manufactured and selling their records with these different sizes. And as a result, they actually did pretty well. People were buying records that would fit on their machines that they got at a discount as part of this whole sort of premium scheme thing going on. So eventually, this company's machines at the time were built by Hawthorne and Shebley, who were also making machines for Busy Bee and Aretino, this company here. But Hawthorne and Shebley had problems with patent suits, and eventually Columbia took over building a lot of these machines for these companies. They were considered what we call Columbia client machines, meaning Columbia was willing to build machines for other companies and put their labels on it and build them to their specs. So this is one of those machines. It was built probably by Columbia and marketed and sold by Harmony. It's kind of a nice machine. It probably would have been a pretty inexpensive machine. And at that time, with the internal horn, the technology had gotten pretty good. So even the cheaper machines were quite good at playing records. So let's take a close-up look at this machine and some of these records, and then maybe we'll give it a listen. So there's the standard disc record, which is kind of a smaller size, but not quite the 1/4 inch to the regular ones. Here's the Harmony ones, the ones we're looking at. And you can see it says Great Northern Manufacturing Company, so that's who was building these or making these. And they were leasing their stampers from other companies, usually Columbia. Those are the two labels. Here's the United record, quite big. The Harmony one's 3/4 of an inch. So it's verging on quite big enough, but look at this thing, Aretino. That's huge. So let's take a look at the machine. This one's not in great shape, but it's still pretty good. There's the money shot, the decal, and you can see this is a Model 12. There's the larger spindle. So there's nothing super exciting about this machine, but it's probably a pretty good player. Here's a look at the reproducer, and there doesn't seem to be anything to identify it as a Harmony machine reproducer. Let's see if we can get this to work. Okay, to start the record, I got to pull out this plunger, and then right behind it is the speed control. I think we're set, so I'm going to pull out the plunger. Let me lift this off to give the record a chance to start. I don't know how it sounded like on the video, but here it sounded actually pretty good. I mean, when you consider this machine was given away as part of a premium deal probably, and it was built in, I would say, around 1910. That seems about appropriate for its time. This company, Harmony, or the Great Northern Manufacturing Company, only lasted till around 1916. And then, like a lot of these early entrants into the market, they went under, possibly because of patent suits and possibly because of the changing market.